Welcome to CHS Alumni Talk. I'm your host, Heather Linstad. Today I am joined by the facilitator of the CHS Alumni Association Share Program, and we'll be joined along with 5 alumni and 2 current students. Dennis, I have to say this is a wonderful program, everything that I've read about and the things that you're trying to do. So what was the reason behind creating the Share Program?
Oh my goodness, I guess there's another classmate of mine, a Bob Pariseau, class of '64, and he had a dream. The point is, way back when in the Alumni Association, we were hoping to maybe do more, offer more, along with the scholarships and so forth. So along with his ideas and so forth, we came up with the idea of the SHARE program, students hearing alumni relate experiences. And from that, we developed a mentoring program where we could try to get students to kind of go along with various alumni and find out what their experiences were. In that regard, that's probably one of the main reasons behind the program. I know it does supplement our fantastic career program here by Cynthia Atchison. She does so much with the kids and so forth. And of course, we can't leave out the guidance department for their time and efforts with each individual counseling session. So basically, that was the beginnings of this SHARE program, a mentoring situation where we could get past alumni to help students in their career path choices and college choices.
I think it's interesting because I think a lot of mentors will probably give the same advice, right? That it's not perfect. You don't have to choose the right college right away or the right career. I think everybody knows that CHS alum have done their fair share of great things, but certainly there's always different paths to go to. So what are we hoping that the students will do in getting in touch with you? How will we facilitate the current students getting in touch with you and then finding the mentors?
First of all, of course, it's my wish and desire this coming October to be in the Career Center. I will have a set-up table, so forth, with doors, and in here they'll find a way to go onto the Chelmsford website, high school website, and go down to quick links, and they'll be able to choose SHARE program, and then they'll have a profile that they can fill out, which will help us match them up with alumni. As for the alumni signing up, of course, there were many different places they could do that. I know the Lions Pride had a whole page on a link to sign up. We have brochures and handouts for alumni that would love to sign up and help us out. And these are some of the ways that they can get involved in the SHARE program.
And what will be the idea of the mentors? It's just a conversation, correct, with students?
Well, I guess it's up to the mentor and how much they want to get involved. Some of the things that we had on here is that you could review various colleges that they went to. Maybe they could have a resume critiqued. Even mock interviews if the person has already graduated and wanted to go on further. Job-seeking skills. I don't know about shadowing them on a job, but I suppose
well, you know,
it depends.
Yeah, but we as alum,
yeah,
it's all about giving back, right?
That's
and so
correct.
this is a great opportunity
they
for.
can have a closer link to the Chelmsford community,
Correct.
which I think is a wonderful idea.
So,
and one of the main things behind that.
I know with your enthusiasm that this SHARE program is in great hands, and I'm very excited about the whole program in moving forward and helping our CHS students. So thank you, and move forward.
Right.
It's my pleasure today to introduce SHARE mentor, Katelyn McHugh, class of 1999, and a Hall of Famer in 2017. So welcome, and thank you very much for being a mentor for the SHARE program.
Thanks Thanks for having me.
I'm also introduced by student, class of 2018. You must be excited about graduating, I'm sure. Julia Mayberry. Thank you for being a part of this and introducing the SHARE program to have our first conversation with our big mentor.
Yes, thank you for being a mentor for our SHARE program.
Thank you.
So you want to tell me a little bit about your experience, or where you went to college and those kind of things?
Sure. I graduated from Chelmsford High in 1999, and I went to Boston College for 4 years. I was an econ major, but minored in education and history, and then went on to get my master's at UMass Amherst. I'm currently a teacher in town. This is my 14th year teaching, and I do middle school physical education.
All right.
That's great. I just have a few questions about college and choosing a career.
Sure.
So for your college, what made you choose the college that you wanted to go to?
So when I started looking at schools, I think I started the spring of my junior year, and both academics and athletics were really important to me. I was a swimmer and a runner, and I wanted to be able to do both in college. So when I looked at different schools, I made sure those were sports that I could compete in. I also wanted to be close enough that family could come and I could come home pretty often. And then I was undecided on my major. I thought I might want to do business or education, so I wanted a school that offered both of those in case I changed my mind.
That's great, because I know for a lot of students it's difficult to pick a major. So if you could give any advice for deciding a major, what would that be?
Yeah, for me, the different classes that I took helped really guide me. And then I think a big part of my decision was after my junior year, I took an internship at a bank. And I was both doing the internship and coaching, and I think the internship started 5 days a week, and then by the end of the summer I was coaching more than I was doing the internship. And that was really eye-opening to me. My senior year I added a minor in education and history because I knew that's the direction I wanted to go. I didn't want to give up coaching for the business world. So I think my advice to you would be, if you can do an internship or get out in the field in any way that you can, I think that's really telling. That was my first real experience with it, and I knew it was something that I didn't want to do for the rest of my life.
That's great.
So it's interesting you brought up the coaching, though, and certainly I had a career in coaching as well.
Right.
Did you come out of high school thinking you would ever go into coaching?
I think I started coaching in the summers at Chelmsford Swim and Tennis while I was a junior and a senior in high school, and I knew that I loved it. I didn't know I'd be able to make a career out of it. I think I knew that would be ideal, but I wasn't sure that I would be able to have a whole lifestyle around that, and coupling it with teaching has just been perfect for me.
Right. So did you feel like when you were thinking back now, do you think of a coach or a teacher that kind of inspired you at Chelmsford High School?
Yeah, definitely. So not only did I swim for Josh Blagg at Chelmsford Swim and Tennis, he was actually my first boss, so I got to coach alongside him. So that was huge for me. I tried to emulate everything he did, and I think I was afraid to go into teaching. I was a little bit shy. I didn't know it would be the best job for me, and he really encouraged me, being a teacher himself, to pursue that. So he was a big mentor pushing me towards education.
Now, Julia, you're thinking about pursuing sports, though, in college?
Yes, I am ice hockey, most likely.
Okay. Okay. So it could lead to something, you never know.
Yes, it could. Yes,
Keep it on the back burner.
exactly.
Yep. So you never know what you might pick up from a coach or a teacher, right?
Yes.
That's terrific. All right. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
All right.
Thank
Any
you.
questions? You're all set?
I'm all set.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you. It's wonderful today to be joined by Angelique Eliopoulos, class of 1998 today, and thank you very much for being a part of the SHARE program and being a mentor for our high school students.
Oh,
So-
it's my pleasure. Thanks for having
So
me.
today we have a student, Julia Mayberry, that would love to ask you a few questions
Sounds
about your choices in life.
So I know you went to Holy Cross, and I was wondering what made you decide to change your major from the health sciences to law, because for me, I'm very interested in health sciences, so I'm interested in why you changed your mind.
So when I went to Holy Cross and I was new, I always loved it. I had a sister that went there. I think you said you had family there too. So, I have this picture of myself at 4 years old in my full purple outfit that, so I loved it. And I thought, I'm going to be pre-med, and I was a psychology major. And I kept psychology all the way through. I dropped pre-med a couple years in, and there was no real one inciting incident or one class. It just slowly over time, I just realized I don't know that this is really what I want to do sort of forever. The great thing about a college like Holy Cross, a liberal arts, you're taking so many classes. I kept, like I said, the psych major, and it really wasn't until the end of senior year that I actually decided I was going to apply to law school. So that you were getting such a wide array of classes. And I think psychology particularly is just helpful for almost any profession you're going to go in, and turned out to be helpful for me as well. But I think I just knew that I wanted to make a change, and I didn't know what it was, and that was okay because I still sort of went on for that liberal arts education.
That's great.
You, the health sciences, though, I mean, you're interested in it,
Yes,
right?
I am.
So what were you, I mean, was Holy Cross your only school you were choosing, or you know, when you thought about it? Because I know you have an array of schools that you're
Yes.
kind of looking at, right?
Yeah. I mean, it was one of my top choices, but I looked at a number of schools, and really for me, I guess in retrospect, whether I knew this at the time or whether it's just advice that I could pass along, if you aren't sure, something like I said, a liberal arts I think is great because you have so many options to kind of just explore it, see what piques your interest, and see what paths, different opportunities they might have, or different, you know, there's research groups you can get into, and majors and minors, but also just sort of exposing yourself to a number of different classes and seeing just something might pique your interest that you don't expect.
That's great.
We talk about Chelmsford High School. I don't know how many students you graduated with. How many are in your graduating class?
A lot.
I had
Yeah.
a big class of 600, but did you look at any schools that were a little bit bigger than a Holy Cross? Because I know Holy Cross is a smaller school, and there's students that are thinking about larger schools, like UMass Amherst and those kind of things. And, was it transition from high school to the college? Like, what was that like?
Yeah,
for you?
I think I knew I wanted to be at a smaller school like a Holy Cross, again, even if it wasn't that specifically. I didn't want to be at sort of a giant university. I wanted to be on a campus, a small campus where I was going to see all the same kids, you know, at the library and then at dinner. And for some people that would be totally not what they were to. They would want something totally different from high school.
Right.
I loved that kind of environment. I loved Chelmsford High, and I knew I wanted that kind of community, small sort of school, so that was perfect for me. But again, for someone else, they might want something totally different.
So you only looked at really small schools?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I looked at a lot of them, but most of them were small, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Are you looking at anything big, or?
Some schools in Boston,
Yeah.
but mostly small schools like
Yeah.
the NESCAC schools or like Holy Cross.
Yeah, okay.
So yeah.
You got the thumbs up on the Holy Cross.
Yes.
I'm biased, I'm
Yeah.
totally biased.
Angelique, thank you very much,
Oh,
and
thank
we're
you.
so glad to have you as part of the SHARE program.
Thank you.
So, Lou to Stacey, class of 1997, correct? Thank you today for being part of the SHARE mentoring program and joining me with Julia, class of 2018. Imagine that,
Slightly
huh?
different, yes.
So, as a mentor, Julia, I mean, I think there's so many things that you could probably learn from Lou and his experiences.
Absolutely. So one question that I have is about college. So did you end up staying with your major throughout college, or did you end up switching majors?
No, I switched majors within the first 3 weeks of school. I thought I was going to be a math major. I was pretty good at math at Chelmsford High and thought for sure I was going to be a math major. And then I got to college, and the very first day of class, the professor wrote on the whiteboard, 1 + 1 does not equal 2. And he said that we would prove that by the end of the semester. And my brain doesn't work that way. 1 + 1 will always equal 2. So I knew that theoretical math wasn't going to be a major for me. So I switched quickly to economics and didn't look back.
That's great.
Good thing,
Yeah,
huh?
no kidding.
I'm glad a professor scared the...
He did. And I went up to him after class. I met with him, and I said, I don't understand this. And he said, I think economics is for you.
Oh,
He said,
all right.
You know, here are curves and supply curves, demand curves, and it all equals it out, and it works. So check that out. I said, okay, sounds good to me.
That's great that you're able to choose and switch your major as well, because I know for some students, they have a really hard time figuring out what major they want to do. So if you could give any advice to a student trying to choose a major, what would you give?
My advice would be to stay flexible. So I think at 18 years old, when you're going off into college, you think you know what you want to do, but so much changes. You get into college and you experiment with things. You realize that maybe the path that I was originally thinking isn't exactly the path that I want to go down. So remain flexible. Try to get some internships while you're in college too, because that'll really help you out to kind of dictate where you want to go. But keep an open mind. If you pick a major and it doesn't seem like it's the right choice, be willing to change. That's
So
my advice.
that's great. So were you able to participate in an internship at college?
Yes, actually, I participated in 2 internships. The first internship was with Toyota Finance, and I would show up to work every day, and they would give me a list of people that hadn't paid for their car payment for the month, and I'd have to go through this list and call these people, and then threaten to repossess their cars. And the list was never ending. So every single day you would show up to work and it would be the exact same thing. And I realized right away that that was not for me. So the next summer I ended up interning at a consulting job. And it was awesome. You would show up to work, they would give you a challenge with a new client. You would work on the challenge with the client for 6 weeks, and you would solve some major issue for the client, and then all of a sudden you'd move on to the next challenge. And that to me was way more satisfying, to have a beginning, middle, and an end, and then move on to the next thing. So that's what I realized right away, that that job, the consulting type job, was going to be a perfect fit for me.
And throughout this whole thing, who helped you with the internships, or how did you really find Colby College?
Yeah, actually, Chelmsford High Alumni helped me. So this is the mentor program, the share program is a great way to connect with alumni. For me, I found when I was looking for colleges, I asked around. I mean, I did a whole lot of research, but then once I narrowed down my field of colleges, I asked people that were CHS alumni, or even people that were at school at the time, what their thoughts were of the college I was going to. And then, then I went there and I visited. But I mean, that was the first lead-in. And then one of my best friends, his sister was a graduate of the class of '94, I believe. She ended up helping me find my internship. She worked at the company that I ended up interning with. So she got me in the door, and I've actually been there since I graduated from college, 16 years ago. So, it was a Chelmsford High alumni that showed me the way and kind of gave me this internship, and I've kind of have my whole career, to thank for her.
That's the lion's pride that we want, right?
Right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks.
So, share member, class of 2007, Gina Barbary, thank you for being here. And 2019, Katelyn McHugh, thank you. It's great that you've decided to be a mentor. So many young people, young girls especially, want to go into the health sciences and being a nursing major. So although Katelyn has a couple more years, I do think that students should start thinking about their college careers in their junior year. So, so you have a few questions for her.
Yes, so I was just wondering, what made you choose this career? Like, did you know out of high school what you wanted to do?
No, I did a year undecided actually, at a school that I didn't like. I went in, I took some classes, I decided I wanted to be a nurse. Have no idea why. Just hit me one day, and I'm so glad it did. I actually transferred to Endicott College, and then I had to do 4 more years because it's a very specialized major to be in. So.
Really? So why did you decide, I mean, your first school was not the right choice, but
Right.
when you were thinking about that school, how did you get there in the first place to Emmanuel?
Well, I think I at first really thought I wanted to be in the city. As it turns out, I did not want to be in the city, but I think it's sometimes you have to trial and error things in life, and that's what happened, and I ended up at a school on the beach. So it was the opposite, and I'm so happy I changed.
So when you left Emmanuel, though, did you look at new schools completely from your first opportunity?
So I was lucky enough, I had some friends, that were already in college with me, and I was visiting them, and kind of through that found the school I wanted to be at.
Cool. So why did you decide to partake in this SHARE program?
Well, I actually was reached out to, apparently, from a friend that I actually haven't really gotten to see much since high school, and it sounded like a great opportunity. I really love what I do. I think I'm very lucky to love going to work, and if I can help somebody get to that point and feel more comfortable, I'm happy to be able to do that.
And especially because you didn't know coming out from high school, knowing what you wanted to do, is there any advice that you'd give a student that didn't know what they wanted to do right off the bat?
Don't panic. You have so much time to figure it out. Something will click. You'll take classes. You'll meet people that introduce you to things you had no idea existed, and something will work out. And if it doesn't, there's always another thing to do.
So were you interested in the sciences when you were at Chelmsford High School?
Not even a little bit.
Really?
I avoided them at all costs. I almost didn't go into nursing because I had to take anatomy class. So it worked out though. You get through it and then you have the rest of your career.
So was there something though at Chelmsford High School that you remembered when you were in the nursing career, or is there things that happened while you were a student?
So not necessarily anything medically specifically, but I remember always wanting to be involved with helping people. I initially thought about education, and then for some reason it just didn't feel like the right fit. But I played a lot of sports, and I feel like through that I just learned about kind of different parts of the body, things getting injured, and fascinated me. And sure enough, I work in the ER, so you know, injuries kind of fascinate me. It's terrible to say.
It's terrible to say you're waiting for somebody to get hurt.
Somebody's got to be there.
But somebody's got to fix it,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
Well, anyways, I think the students at Chelmsford High School are going to be excited to talk to you, because I know, again, that there's a lot of young women that are interested in the health sciences, and we appreciate your efforts.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
No problem.
With me is Tom Curran, chair member now, being a mentor in the class of 1978. Thank you. I know that it might seem like it was a long time ago, but
It was, Heather. It was a long time ago.
But we all have fond memories.
Yes.
And CHS has obviously had an impact. And
Absolutely.
it's always great to give back to the students. And today we have Katelyn McHugh, yes, graduating 2019. She's got a couple of years to think about it, but certainly that's the time where our students should start asking questions and,
Sure.
and trying to figure out what the goal is.
So I was just wondering, what made you decide to go to Villanova, since it was so far away? Like, it was farther away than most people would have.
Back in the day, yeah. I actually owe a lot of that to my guidance counselor at Chelmsford High School, Miss Hare. She encouraged me to apply for a Marine Corps ROTC scholarship and apply to Villanova because we had had a guy from the class of 77 and 76 go the same route. So I didn't know anything about the service or that school. But I applied and I was accepted and got the scholarship and decided to go for it. So without her guidance, I wouldn't even have thought of Villanova. Would have been the last thing on my mind. But it was a good decision.
So did you know what you wanted to do? Because I know you went to college before, like you went to Villanova and then you went into the Marine Corps. Did you know what you wanted to do right out of the gates? Like
I didn't.
Coming out of high school?
I didn't, no. I was an economics major, which was pretty general. Exposure to business and the liberal arts, not really knowing what I wanted to do, and it all worked out. So I think it's okay if you don't know what you want to do when you're 17 years old.
That's great advice for people in my grade. I think we're starting to be like, oh, we got to figure this out.
No.
Yeah, so.
It works out.
Everybody changes once in a while,
Right.
right?
Right.
You've been, though, a financial advisor for a long time. Is that what you thought, or did you have an internship?
Again, no.
How did that come
No
about?
clue. Well, my internship in college was going to Marine Corps training every summer, so that was totally different. But coming out of the service, I really had in my mind I wanted to be in business for myself, and that's what this career has allowed me to do. I don't feel like I work. I love what I do. I have a passion for it, and I own my own business, and that's really what attracted me to that career.
So how did you get to see the guidance counselor? Because, I mean, the SHARE program with Dennis is going to be right there, and he should be there to talk to the students. But, like, who pushed you there? Or was Mrs.?
Back in the day, Heather, it was kind of expected. I mean, we all met with our guidance counselor at the end of our junior year and then first week senior year, and you had to have a list of what you were thinking about. And, you know, they took that into account. But in this case, she had her own ideas about what might work for me, too. So. Yeah.
So I just had one more question. Why did you decide to partake in the SHARE program?
I've always liked to give back. I've been involved in this community, and when Heather asked me to be part of it, I said, sure. Great chance to give back.
Well, I think we've all learned from different coaches and stuff like that, and I know you're coaching as well, too. And to be a mentor just means so much to young people, right?
Right.
I mean, your brothers, your sisters, and I know people have gone to Villanova because of you, correct?
I had
in
two
the
brothers.
Chelmsford community?
Yeah, two brothers, a cousin, a couple other friends follow within the next 5 to 7 years, and everyone had a good experience. 2 cousins, actually.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So did you ever think about Villanova, or do you even know where it is?
No. I haven't gotten that far. I'm just trying to figure out what I want to do, but I definitely have to look into that.
And ask more people, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So it's going to be a great thing, and we're very thankful that everybody wants to be a part of the SHARE program.
Yeah, I think it's a
Looking
really cool
forward to it.
opportunity to be able to talk to people like that.
Thank you. Wow, that was wonderful. 5 very unique and very qualified alumni with lots of passion and pride for being students at CHS. And I think the CHS current students, Julia and Katelyn, really learned a lot, and I hope this show really tells the parents of Chelmsford students what it's all about, and shows the quality of people that everybody wants to network together. So where again can the students, where should the students of CHS go, and where else can the mentors sign up for this?
Yes, as we said earlier, it was so nice to see the kids and the questions they had. In fact, even some of the alumni, I didn't realize the different choices in colleges and the changes of career. I think that students, of course, if they want to come to the Career Center in October, I will have a whole bunch of these brochures available, and I can individually help them to sign up and show them where the form is that they need to fill out. Alumni, of course, are always welcome, whether it be I see them at Dunkin' Donuts or wherever else it is. It is my wish that we could all end with a letter saying, geez, how excited we are as alumni to help these students in a career choice path. I would love to have the letter go on to say more. Gee, I even helped them fill out an interview or a resume or a cover letter. And wouldn't it be nice finally to have our letter say, geez, they finally did follow all the things, and they now are working in a career and a job that we all thought and helped them develop. That is our wish, and I thank you all for helping out in this regard.
Well, thank you very much for being on CHS Alumni Talk, and we hope to have you back again.
Thank you.